And so the people started to spray down. They started to spray their arms and spray this and make sure you use this. And they had the candles, Frankie. You know, these are the candles to keep the mosquitoes away from you. These are the candles and da-da-da-da. And I never had issues. And dear God, I got bit so much that time. And I was mad. I was upset. So I called one of the prophets. I said, why did this happen? This is me at, 12 years old, 10, 12 years old. I said, why am I getting bit by mosquitoes? I never got bit by mosquitoes. And they said, son, it's because it entered into your subconscious mind. So because it entered into your subconscious mind, you gave it permission. Oh, God, this is getting good. Are you guys loving this conversation? You gave it permission. You gave it permission. Before, they could not bite you because you had no idea that they could. It's the same thing. On the basis of aerodynamics, Frank, the bumblebee should not be able to fly. This was a study done at Oxford, and you can look it up. The bumblebee, based on aerodynamics, is too heavy to fly, and it's not even shaped correctly. Why does the bumblebee still fly? Because it was never told that it could not. Oh, yes. So when you hear the story of John the Baptist eating wild locusts, eating weird foods and being around and eating honey and wild honey and all this type of stuff, John the Baptist never got bitten by any of those bees because he was understanding how to measure his subconscious. Because all animals are subjective and all animals are subconscious. So this friend that had these bad dreams, I said, you got to be careful. You got to fix that in your subconscious mind. This is why the School of the Prophets is needed, because some of you have some stuff. I mean, we all do, to be honest with us. We all have some stuff lodged into our subconscious that we have to fix. And you can always tell when they're lodged in because there's some fear in that area. Whether it's fear of heights, whether it's fear of this, there's some fear in that area because you got something lodged in there. And what happens is that when you have something lodged in there, you are basically telling, or animals or demons or demonic forces or anything that functions from the hive mentality that is subjective will pick up on it, and it will come after you. It will attack you. That's how possession happens. Are you guys getting this? And so I told them, I said, you got to stop. I said, you got to stop having these bad dreams. I mean, it would be so bad, they would be sweating. Oh my God, someone was running after me. Oh my God, and they kept on having these dreams until one day they were outside, and a dog got loose. There were other people outside, Frankie. There were other people outside. There were even kids playing outside. The dog walked right past the kids. There was a homeless man sitting on the street. The dog walked right past the homeless man, looked at the homeless man, tilted its head, and then kept on moving. And when the dog saw them, it bolted at them and bit them to the point that it almost caused bone damage. It did cause bone damage, but bit them down to the bone to their arm. They called me. They were yelling. I said, I told you about your subconscious. He said, look what the devil done. I said, look what your own ignorance done. I need you to get this stuff, people. I need you to get this stuff. I'm teaching you how to create space for your riches, how to create space for your prosperity. See, once you learn these kingdom principles, you will be able to go into your subconscious mind and remove what is ever blocking you from your billions. I keep on saying this, and I want you to understand this. There are some partners. There are several partners, and y'all come on here all the time, but there are several partners that are supposed to be billionaires. The Lord told me that. But some of you have some blockages about money in your subconscious. You have some stuff that was told to you from your parents. Money doesn't grow on trees. It's hard to make that type of, all that type of stuff is subconscious programming. You know, I was looking at something and a child messed up something that their parents got them, and I was walking in a mall and I heard the parent tell them, you know how difficult that was for me to buy? And I said, that child is going to have a mentality thinking that money is difficult. She's literally telling that child that. That child is in a subconscious state, and that child is learning that. And so many of your hang-ups that you have, it's not your fault, people. It's not your fault. It's the stuff that was told to you when you were subconscious or you were in a subconscious state. You know how hard it was for me to buy that, and you broke it. You see, that's another thing. You see, now he is correlating money with it being hard. And so, according to that child's faith, it will be hard for him to make money. His money will only be made through hard stuff. I was talking to someone else, and they were going to be helping me with an investment. I was listening to what he was saying, and I instantly was able to tell that he had a financial rejection in his subconscious. I instantly was able to tell. He was being fastidious and telling me something that we should do or something that I should do with this firm. But then he was also telling me in the same breath, you know, we have to have all this analysts and all this stuff because, you know, you can misstep and it can be difficult. It's very hard to do this. And he said it at least 3 times. And by the 3rd time he said it, I knew he was not the person for me. I immediately knew that he got this prophetically. I knew that he got this from the words of his mother. And so I asked him, I said, did your mom tell you that? He says, yeah, how did you know? I said, I can hear your mother talking through you right now, the way how you see money. I said, I was ready to make the investment, but because I can hear what is going on in your subconscious, I am not interested in having that experience. You see, you have to pay attention to this, people, because out of the mouth, the heart speaks, the Bible says. So it's out of the mouth that you can hear someone's subconscious. You can hear them. You can hear it. No matter how much they try to hide it to you at first, you sit there and you gather that data, baby. Gather the data. Listen to the emotions they are invoking in you. People do not fall in love with people. They fall in love with the emotions that people give them. Oh, God, Frankie, I better stop teaching like this. Can you guys take a little more? Can you take a little more? Can you take a little more? And so I need you partners. You partners have to be so on it. You have to be so on it. You have to be so on it. Listen to their subconscious. Out of the mouth, the heart speaks. Listen to it. Listen to what they're talking about. You know, there was a man, he paid $1 million to have lunch with Warren Buffett. And he went on an interview. I should probably post some of this on my social media for some of you guys to see it. He said, he paid $1 million to just go to have lunch. He said it was one of the shortest lunch. Those that heard my other teaching where I talked about how billionaires eat, it was one of the shortest lunch. It was the lunch. He likes to have lunch. He said, well, I had lunch with Warren Buffett. We went to, I think it's McDonald's. I think he likes to eat at McDonald's. He said, Warren, why do you like to eat at McDonald's? He said, because it's fast and it's efficient and I'm able to get right back in the office and do what I need to do. Ooh, Francie, I better slow down. And so he said, I had lunch with Warren Buffett. And he said, I was there to pick his brain. He said, I wanted to know how he became one of the most wealthiest men in the world. What did he do? He said, I was sitting there. And he says, Warren comes out. He said he looked a little shorter than what he looks like on TV. He said he walked out. He was driving his Volkswagen and walked out and sat down. By the time he sat down, he had his Diet Coke, or his Coca-Cola, because that was his investment. He only drinks Coke. And they had his burger ready. And so he's sitting down there. He said it was literally within seconds the food came out. He said, I had to be ready to know what I want. He said, Warren looked at me and says, what are you having? And he said he didn't have time to think of it, but he just said, I'll just have whatever he's having. And that's what you do. That's what you do. When you don't know, you just say, I'll have whatever you're having. So Warren had to get back and handle some work. So he understood he couldn't waste his time, because time is the most valuable investment. And so he sits there and he says it was so peculiar when he had lunch with Warren Buffett, because he said he noticed that he was there to pick Warren Buffett's mind, but he says Warren had a gift. And he says his gift was that he spent more time talking about himself than Warren spent talking about himself. He said immediately he discerned that Warren was masterful at understanding the subconscious mind of people and businesses. He said by the time he got up there, he said he noticed that he did not know more information about Warren, but Warren knew more information about him. And he said he learned that, and he said it changed his life and it helped him grow his company to $800 million. Now, I want you to hear this, people, because I'm teaching you something. I'm teaching you something. There's a reason why the Bible says out of the heart comes the issues of life. The heart is the subconscious mind, people, the issues of life. It's important that you hear this so that you do not get attacked financially, emotionally. Ladies, some of you have been attacked emotionally. You got involved with the wrong man that wastes your time. Issues of the heart. You got involved with some stuff that stole money from you. You got involved with some folks that were no good. You had good intention. You had good intention, but did not give attention to their intention. And so you have to learn how to listen to their heart. We all did it naturally when we were children, but we unlearned it as the ego got involved. Because now you have your ego speaking, and the ego drowns out your ability to hear someone's subconscious. And this is very, very important what I'm teaching you here. And this is some of my basics in the School of the Prophets, because you get to a point where you will be able to hear it first. And then after you hear it, you will be able to discern it, where someone doesn't even have to speak. You can discern. You can discern the subconscious. You can discern the unconscious subjectified thought on that particular person. You can discern it. You can just discern it. You can discern it. Sometimes I can just see a picture of someone. I had someone that recently, we were just becoming acquaintances, and they would bring people up. We would have conversations. So she would bring people up, and she brought up someone that was her ex. And I started to talk to her about her ex. I said, well, he does this and he does that. And so she's having a conversation, and she looked at me. She said, wait a second, you don't know him. How do you know that? I looked at her, and I said, I'm getting the information from your subconscious. And she just looked at me. She said, that's weird. I said, I just want to make sure we're talking about the same guy. He's born September 5th. She said, yes. How do you do that? She said, that's so spooky. What are you doing? I said, I'm just talking to you because I'm hearing what your subconscious is saying. I said, I got that too from your subconscious.